Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. So in this video, I'm going to be doing a DIY I've been wanting to do for a really long time, which is repainting our dining room table. Now, a few years back, I sent off a quote to get our dining room table as well as our coffee table and our console to be repainted. I think the quote that I sent off came back to be more than $1,000. So I set off to find an alternative solution to make our old furniture look new again, and that was how I found this Rust-Oleum cabinet transformation kit. Now, Rust-Oleum has a cabinet transformation kit and also a furniture transformation kit. When I went to Home Depot, I found the furniture transformation kit, but they only had it in dark colors. And my goal is to repaint my dining room table to a white. So because the furniture transformation kit, which is actually half the price of this, wasn't available in the color I wanted, I actually had to get the cabinet transformation. However, if you're looking to redo more than one piece of furniture, the cabinet transformation kit is actually better because you get a lot more paint in this one than you would the furniture kit. As you guys can see, the color options here, there are two with each color, and that's because you get a decorative glaze in each box. I've never used this kit before, but I found this a few years back and I've been really interested to see how this works. So without any further ado, let's just jump into it and see how this furniture transformation goes. Okay, so I just got done with refinishing this table and I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. It actually was a lot easier than I thought. It was a bit of a process though, and it did take me longer than I thought it would. But I think if you continuously worked on this table, I think you can definitely get it done within 2 to 4 days. So the finish of the table, now that it's done, actually looks really, really good. I was a little bit nervous because I took this table from a really dark brown to a pure white. So to refinish a piece of furniture, the first thing you want to do is break down the piece of furniture. You want to get rid of all of the screws or hardware and just kind of make sure everything is broken up, and that way you can get the paint on evenly and more cleanly. The next step, if you find that it's applicable, is to sand. The Rust-Oleum Transformation Kit actually advertises that it does not need to be sanded before using this kit. However, my table was in really bad shape and the paint on top was just severely chipped, and so I didn't feel comfortable painting my table without sanding all that off first. I noticed that when I was painting on my bond coat, all of the patches that was bare wood was soaking in the bond coat, while any part that actually still had some paint on it, the bond coat was just kind of gliding on top. So it was for that reason I actually had to paint on a few extra layers so that my table looked more uniform. So if I were to do this again, I would definitely suggest using a primer if you do sand before you start the bond coats. And then you're gonna move on to the deglosser stage. The deglosser comes with the Rust-Oleum Transformation Kit. They also give you these green scrubbing pads to use with the deglosser. After the table has been like wiped down of all the dust and stuff, you put the deglosser solution onto the green scrubbing pad and you just go over your table scrubbing pretty hard with the scrubbing pad to pretty much just remove all of the excess dirt, oils, and just like any shine to the piece of furniture. So after you put the deglosser onto your scrubbing pad and go over your whole table or piece of furniture that you're working on, you wipe off the deglosser with a wet rag and then you go over it again with a dry rag to just dry everything up. If by any chance there's still some of that deglosser solution on your piece of furniture, you just repeat the 2 last steps until you feel that your piece of furniture is clean enough to move on to step 2 of the Rust-Oleum Transformation Kit, which is the bond coat. The bond coat is actually my favorite step in this process, even though it did take me 7 or 8 coats of the bond coat to get this table where it's at now. It was the easiest in my opinion. The bond coat paint that comes in the Rust-Oleum Transformation Kit is a lot thinner than paint that you would find you know, to be put on the wall. So because of that, it goes on really, really easily. So after step 2, which is the bond coat, you can move on to your decorative glaze step, which is step 3. And the decorative glaze is completely optional. I actually chose not to put a decorative glaze onto my table because I really wanted a very clean, pure white look. The decorative glaze is going to give you a more kind of like distressed, vintagey look. And I think there's different ways, different techniques you can use to have your wood or your piece of furniture have different looks to them. But since I did not put the decorative glaze on, I went ahead and skipped step 3 and just moved on to step 4, which is the protective top coat. Now, I honestly think this was the trickiest one for me. I had these blue tarps I laid out on our back patio. The UV rays from the sun really broke down the fibers of that tarp, and so I had all these blue fibers that came off of that tarp, and it like covered my table. That's another thing also. You want to make sure that you want to wipe down the surfaces of your piece of furniture before adding any coats of paint. And even though I did do that, before putting the top coat on, those blue fibers were really stubborn. So you can kind of see it on this middle piece. I was a little bit more careful with these 2 side pieces. With the bond coat, it actually just paints over it, so any little pieces just blends in really easily. With the top coat, because it's clear, you can see everything. However, the top coat paint itself is actually really easy to paint on. And if you don't have any debris, I think it would be a lot easier to just get that top coat on and set it aside for it to dry. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this DIY tutorial on how to refinish a piece of furniture yourself. I am really pleased and really happy with this project. It cost me a lot less money to refinish this table than having to buy a new one or trying to find someone to do it for me. So I think the Rust-Oleum Transformation Kits are actually a really great deal. If you're going darker, you can definitely get just the Furniture Transformation Kit. I want to say it was like $35 at this time, and then the Cabinet Transformation Kit was like $75. So yeah, it's half the price. I think it's for half the paint also. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Also, give this video a like if you enjoyed watching it. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to click that subscribe button right there so you can see more videos like this. I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!